especially the blue side teams, will just lock in their entire top side, and that's not necessarily too uncommon, especially with things like Asante on in the meta, and if you're going towards something like an RA first pick as well, you will occasionally run into that. But for both teams to do it, it's definitely a bit of a rarity. And I feel like we're just going to see a whole bunch of support bans. I'm kind of surprised that EDG even touch the AD carry pool, but perhaps just don't necessarily want to deal with Assumes Aphelios. And you know what? I can respect that, to be fair, as he is a bit of a monster on it, as are so many of our AD carries, to be fair. As RA, I imagine, probably just look to remove, if I had to guess, the Zeri, but there is also the Jinx. And I feel like for them, they don't necessarily want to deal with too much defensive tools. Speaking actually defensive tools, that's an even better defensive AD carry in the Xayah. So I feel like just, again, wanting to play into something that they know that they can go towards the bottom side with and dive.
One thing I will say, a lot more presence in the lanes here from EDG than a lot of what we've seen so far this split with that Kennen in the top side. So not just all eggs in the Uzi basket, which has been quite commonly the strategy recently. The Rakan going to be locked in despite the fact that Xayah is banned away, but deciding to leave that AD carry until last pick, and we'll see where that ends up being. For RA though, what kind of duo do they want to go with? Yuumi taking off the board, but Lulu's still available.
Yeah, Lulu's still available. Kai'Sa Hover, I mean, Kai'Sa Leona, maybe, right? Even if it's blind into Rakan lane, probably not going to be too bad. Something really aggressive either way, right? I mean, you've got Nidalee at the end of the day. I feel like you're full sending it here as RA, and the Draven gets locked in for like Assume, so we know where their mindset's at.
This is RA basically going, look, we watched your series against RNG. We watched LP destroy you on Draven. We're just going to do the same thing. We're literally also going to bring it in. We'll see what they're going to go with. I mean, the Leona you mentioned could be good. Can do well into the Rakan. But instead, a bit of disengage? No.
Oh, wow.
Very much not disengage. That goes Blitzcrank.
Okay, I mean, it's not necessarily as much setup as something like the Renata or the Leona, but of course, if you land the hook, then, well, you know, whoever gets hit is probably just dead. So I can respect that. I'm talking about the gank setups, like dive setups, perhaps, with the Blitz. But now, EDG have an AD carry to lock in, and Uzi, he's hovered over the Kai'Sa more than once out of all the champions here that have been hovered over. Does he really want to go towards it? He does. So that's going to be a bottom lane where I feel like they're going to struggle to trade, but outside of laning phase, right, so much of this EDG composition just goes forward, and the ability to, you know, lock down Assume, lock down Lian should be pretty consistent, but it's about getting there first.
It certainly is. But I will say, it's Uzi's Kai'Sa, like, you got to get a little bit excited about that. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It's up there with his vein for me, where it's just one of these picks that you just... He just always pops off. He just always has such an insane force. He's got a 70% win rate over 46 games on the Kai'Sa over the course of his career. Like, that is actually insane. Uzi is a monster on the pick. Now, granted, there's not a massive amount of initial setup if they can dodge away from the Rakan. But that said, neither Draven nor Blitzcrank necessarily are the best at avoiding a Rakan, especially if the quickness comes in. So I can see the combo here for Uzi and Meiko. Two of the greatest bot laners of all time in the LPL now joined together. We've yet to really see them in full form just yet. But perhaps this is the beginning with kind of signatures coming out.
Yeah, signature picks coming out for both. And you would like to hope for EDG, for Uzi, they can have a positive lane here. I feel like it should be an uphill battle in theory, but I guess we'll have to see how things unfold as we're getting closer to game number 1. And, I mean, we know what RA are going to be up to in the early game, right? Draven, Renekton, Nidalee on the opposite side of the map as well. For EDG, this is going to be a lot about the survival house.
Can they survive? That'll be the question. But here we go, on to Summoner's Rift. 25 minutes late, Uzi. I'm just saying, timekeeping, mate. But here we go. EDG looking for a bit of redemption after their recent series against their old rivals in RNG, getting 2-0'd in that series. But I like what they're bringing to the table. Changing tack. Yeah, that's going to be tough, honestly, as Xiaoshu just literally waltzing out of the play, I think is the only way to describe it. Very cool guys don't look at explosions. Just strolls on out of it.
He's also back to 60% HV. Like, he's just chilling. And now, a dive is actually kind of viable because Arla doesn't have flash and he's, what, 700-ish HP? right? So Xiaoshu's got the empowered W. That's going to be a longer stun, and Lian should just be able to line this up.
Ala still had flash available there, but has no chance to use it. Xiaoshu shuts him down, and Lian get out of that one. Remember, Ala actually has his flash still from the previous play. Never got to use that, but the wave crashed in. Oh, and he gets it! Lian, it's a flubbed up flash. He's going to be stunned underneath the tower, but he can pounce back out.
Off the jungle camp farm, so mid lane, Strive. How much trouble is he in?
Attempt here. Ignite comes on down. They won't really be able to finish this one off. Baolan blocks it, pulls him in. Fofo has been obliterated.
Yeah, Fofo kind of got destroyed there. Just gets rid of the minion wave, and Hook is really, really easy to land. The only way that could have been worse for EDG.
Let's get him. That pounce. But gets to use it. Stunned up by the slice strum. And a CC chain there by JJ and Ala.
RA spoke about stripping away some towers. If they can kill Arla, maybe there's reinforcement.
Sorry, he's over on the side. It does not matter. The run through though, maybe the tower can finish the job. Fofo with the JJ with kill credit. A 4 up top for EDG, but everyone had just recalled on the bottom side for RA, so there's no.
Obviously open up the map a little bit, but the Dragon's not for another 90 seconds, so that's not going to be a tool that they have. Now Charm goes wide, but this is what you want to do.
Everfrost is there as well. This is the cash in. Surely there it is.
Woo!
1,000 gold plus the 300 for the kill. He just got almost 1,500 gold from a kill.
That was nasty. That was nasty. 1,033 was the final number there on the cash in. So yeah, when Asum goes back to base, he is shopping. He's aftershock, and even with the aftershock, he would still get absolutely murdered like this, doing their best to try and poke and prod, but unfortunately, you always run the risk of Baolan landing Hook.
Double skill shots there. To be honest, that didn't even look like a hit to me, but JJ goes down regardless. And that massive influx of gold from Asum. The Baron Pit, and there we go. Blue Ward now going to be used as well. They're running out of ways to check it. Fofo still does have that Scry's orb available as well.
This feels like old school League of Legends back in the day, where like vision items were at times very limited, especially because you had to spend so much gold. RA just suffocating EDG out, and now it collapses on its way.
Yeah, they're trying to make this play so that EDG were forced to come and find a creative way to get vision. Oh, the TP though, the charm is there. Flash comes out from Strive and makes the moment happen. 0-2 for Fofo, and RA comfortably can start this Baron off. JJ, you got to make a miracle happen here, friend.
Yeah, he's got flash, he's got ult, and he's got a dream, Joe, and I think he's going to have to commit his life if he wants to potentially deny this one away from RA. How much information is he working with? Ultimate will fly through. I don't know if it's giving him vision, though.
Xiaoshu can just go over the wall and just bully JJ here. Dominus comes out, JJ over the wall! But he can't quite find the steal. Xiaoshu rejoins his squad, and it's another kill for Asum. Ala try to split push at the side lane, but an AP cannon ain't going to do all or too much. There we go. Even a TP committed from Strive here to deny the tier 2. EDG get nothing here.
He's literally setting up waves for Uzi's Ezreal ults across the map. I remember those days too. Different game entirely.
Hey, honestly, it was a different game to what everyone else was playing at the time as well. Like,
yeah.
EDG was the only team that did that. Oh, sorry, EDG. RNG.
Well, as Alan, I'm gonna find Mako, and pace of the game kind of slowed down, but I feel like this is maybe by design for RA. I feel like they haven't necessarily set themselves up for siege, and they're just waiting for this next Baron to spawn up, because the last Baron kind of netted them a couple of towers. Here's an engage, actually.
Flash for flash, and it's Baolan to go down. TP coming through as the Whirling Death won't find a kill. Well, Blitzcrank gone. That's perfect for EDG. It's really difficult to threaten in the way that RA want without the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, and you know, Joe, what are we talking about? As soon as Baolan goes in, if he, you know, throws out a hook, he's then not a champion. Mako knows this. He is a by-the-book player. As soon as Baolan goes in, throws the hook out, he's like, well, I guess I'm going in now. There's no reason not to. They just find their easy pick and walk away. All hands still on deck. Dragon up in a little bit over 60 seconds. So for RA, that's probably where a little bit of this vision focus is going to reshift over to. For EDG, kind of the... still have to be on the back foot a little bit, but they're pushing a couple of waves. This could give them a few windows for Mako to just slip in and drop some very shallow vision to make sure that RA, at the very least, have to clear it out as they retake.
Assume threatening Mako there, and he's going to respect it fully. Uzi, though, 3 items finished off now on the Kai'Sa. is going to be feeling strong. As a hook does come in, the silence is there. And Mako's gone before the play can even happen. EDG, when they got their pick onto Powerland, there were no objectives on the map. Now they have to do what they can. Uzi's going for a play onto Powerland. But the heal comes out. Oh my days. Powerland barely gets out with his life. But Xiaoshu threatening a flank here as Strive forced away. The root's going to come on through. Zonya's going to be forced. Strive should go down here. No, flashes away. Keeps himself alive. Assume back on the Baron. In the meantime, Ala is split pushing. But RA will finish the Baron off.
All right, so Baron for Inhibitor Tower. I mean, honestly, for RA, you're probably all right with that trade, but what will feel bad is if you lose this Dragon, and I think that's certainly going to be the case here. This will be bursted down exceptionally quick. Things like the Kai'Sa with the Gwynsu. So for RA, I don't know how worth this sequence of play is. I feel like unless you really break, you break open the base, you get an Inhibitor from this Baron. For EDG, this is perfect. They now put themselves on Soul Point. If they get the next Dragon, picking up that additional, set of stacks is going to feel great. Of course, you're just denying RA the ability to have more damage on hand, and you just keep the game going for a little bit longer. So RA need to be really, really clinical with this Baron. Otherwise, it feels like EDG in the long run are going to be more than happy with that trade.
They certainly are. I mean, EDG, maybe we found the secret sauce. They've just got to get past 30 minutes because, like, from a macro perspective, that set of plays was fantastic from EDG. They get an inhib tower, they get the third Drake, so now they can threaten the 50-50 onto Infernal Soul. And sure, RA, they do get the Baron buff, but at what cost? It's a potential opportunity for Ala to make things open wide in this game. Tier 2 will be taken on the bottom side, but RA still yet to actually break into the base.
Yeah, exactly. Tier 2 on the top side is the only one that's still left up, but they're sieging down here on the opposite side.
Oh,
Mako.
Okay, I take it back. They've broken into the base. My goodness,
yeah,
the tap
that was
as strong as paper. Ala's still split pushing. They might lose the game here. It's a hook onto Mako, and he's down already. RA find their opportunity, whirling death across the team, but he can't finish another kill. Uzi now, half HP, but it's Ala! He's TP'd behind the whole squad. Xiaoshu jumps into the backline to try and save it. Assume versus Uzi, but Strive's there too, and the croc goes huge. RA find the fight, and they'll find game one.
Not only that, but Assume just put an axe in Uzi's head, man. He just crammed for like 900 damage on the turnaround play. For Ala, it was such a big ult, but it feels like it was too little too late, and RA will take game one.
It felt like that was maybe the miracle play for EDG, but it's too little too late. It feels like they only came alive beyond the 30-minute mark, whereas RA